So I get a lot of crap from people, and our creators get a lot of crap from people. You get a lot of crap from people because one, they don't understand how much you can make on YouTube.
Nope, they don't.
They don't understand how realistic it is to become a paid creator with monetization sources from 20 different avenues, right? They don't understand the opportunity. They don't hear the same music as us.
Welcome back to another episode of Nothing Outside. Today we have a very special guest. We're going to go straight into it, even though it already happened. But we're recording this after the fact, but the interview already happened. Today's special guest is a YouTube educator, a filmmaker for social causes, an ultimate Frisbee athlete, and the head of social media at Tubebuddy. Please welcome to the table, Judah Lee. All right, Judah, let's get down to it. You are, would you say your main title is for Tubebuddy, right? Social media for Tubebuddy? Is that your main
social media manager?
Main shtick? So
that's the thing.
How did you get there? What were the major points in your life that climbed all the way to this moment of you talking to me right now? What would you say stands out?
What got me at Tubebuddy?
Question? Yeah, just major from birth all the way to Tubebuddy. What were the things that for sure got you there? That wouldn't have Tubebuddy wouldn't have happened if that didn't happen in my life.
I would say
what are a few of the things?
Making a ton of mistakes. Actually, here, I think it was learning a lot of skills and making a ton of mistakes. And the reason I put it like that is if you go to you haven't done this, but if anybody were to go to my LinkedIn and look at my previous work history, you would go how did this guy go from doing that to now managing the social media, doing marketing at Tubebuddy? And nothing's really aligned. So what got me here at Tubebuddy was more so I don't know, being a creator, owning a production company. I don't know, all the things you wouldn't expect from a marketer, probably.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Oh, you look so 25. Young. You could be.
Wait,
you could say? Be our age for all I know.
Yeah, definitely.
How old are you?
We're 20. Well, she's 19.
Okay,
I'm 20. Yeah. So I mean, you're still young. You're still young.
Little baby.
Did you go to school?
For a little bit. So I went to college maybe for half a semester, then I dropped out.
What did you go for?
Originally I went for computer science.
So did your interests match up to what you're doing now? Have you been creating content? I think you have, right? You've been creating content for a while.
I think giving you a little clarity on how I got to where I'm at now would be helpful.
Yeah.
So for me, at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, COVID happened. I was kind of moving around in different positions. Prior to working here, I ran a commercial cleaning business and, things didn't work out with that. Me and my partner split up after 4 or 5 years of doing it together.
This meeting is being recorded.
Forgot to do that.
My screen. But yeah, long story short, we kind of broke up and then I kind of was looking for a different route. So I started a production company because I did a lot of videography for my church. I did a lot of local projects for people. And then I'm hey, let me get into this creator space. And then in the process, I knew that YouTube was a big North Star for me. And at the same time, I was looking for work in the YouTube space. I was reaching out to popular YouTubers saying yo, let me be your editor. And then I got an email from Tubebuddy about a position. So that's kind of what led me here. But I think my skill sets and my background for Tubebuddy in specific comes from the fact that I had a video creation background in the team at Tubebuddy, at least the content team, which I rely on. We're all creators. And that's a big focus for us, is that we're a team of creators helping creators. So that was a really strong asset for them, is that I knew how to video edit, I knew how to present on camera, and I freaking loved YouTube. So it was a perfect match, and smooth sailing ever since.
So can you explain?
Go ahead.
Can you explain what TubeBuddy is? Because I know Grace has no idea what TubeBuddy is.
Well, I did some research.
Well,
so I know,
before I mentioned it, she had no idea what TubeBuddy is.
5 minutes ago.
No. Last night I was actually researching it or researching you to like post some interview questions and stuff. And it's funny because you were like, no one would ever look at my LinkedIn.
Did you look at his LinkedIn?
I did. I looked at like all your platforms. I was like, all right, let me get to know a little background on this guy.
Let's go.
Isn't it interesting though? You didn't see it. It's a huge shift.
What was the shift? I didn't see his LinkedIn.
No, it's like you kind of are. You would expect to see like something that might show how he like got there from like where he is now at TubeBuddy, like his position.
So what did you do before? Like, what was the big shift?
Well, he said he did a cleaning company.
Yeah, I ran a cleaning company. I was in video production. My true background, like most of my work experience in the job that I left right before TubeBuddy, was in education.
Gotcha.
So I taught design thinking to middle school students, and prior to that, I worked in mental health as a behavior intervention specialist, just working with kids who dealt with trauma. So it's like my work history is not in marketing. It's more so like in
anything
education
but
in a way, facilitation, behavioral intervention, like that's truly my background.
So would you say from doing those things, you learned a lot of valuable skills that you could transfer to what you do now?
I really don't know. I think I learned a lot of skills that are super valuable for me in my life, and I would not have had it any other way. And I had a lot of fun doing those things. But as far as like what I'm doing for YouTube, the best correlation between the two is like some of my future plans as a content creator kind of falls back into my background in education, my background in design thinking and facilitating and planning and running summer camps and like doing youth groups and stuff like that. Some of my future YouTube plans, like individual goals, align with that. But as far as like what I do at TubeBuddy, like nothing really crosses over.
Gotcha. So for all the non-creators out there, what is TubeBuddy? What the heck is TubeBuddy?
So can you hear me sipping? I don't want to turn this into like an ASMR.
Hey man, it's all good.
Okay, cool. So TubeBuddy, we're a lot of things, and we're becoming a lot of things also. So like currently we are a software. We're a browser extension. That's the heart of what TubeBuddy is. We're a browser extension that creators can download and use on YouTube that helps them, plan, optimize, and grow their channels. Whether it's doing like researching like topics and finding opportunities to stand out on YouTube, whether it's channel management on doing like the tedious things like updating all your videos and changing out information and descriptions and like bulk updates, to like promoting your video, like there's or just even having a greater layer of analytics for your channel. It does a lot of different things. So at the core, we're a software that helps you manage your YouTube channel. But then outside of that, we have like coaching. We have a new series on YouTube called Revenue Streams, where we teach creators how to make money with affiliate revenue. We have a new series coming out called Video Club, where we're just teaching about how to be a strong content creator, from filming to editing to like the content styles. Like so we're really like a go-to all-in-one resource to help YouTube creators excel on the platform. But at the heart of it, what millions of creators know us for is our software that they install to their channel.
When did you join TubeBuddy?
So I came on the team late October of last year.
And I saw you went on a TubeBuddy trip and met everyone for the first time. How's that?
It was amazing. Super weird, dude. Like the 2020, man, like it's super strange because like we got acquired by a company called Branded Entertainment Network. So we went from like I don't know, 12, 14 person team to like our TubeBuddy team is probably like 20 plus members now, but like Branded Entertainment Network is like a 300 plus company. So we grew a lot, like our core team, and then our external like mother, father, ownership team, whatever you would call them, they grew massively also. And so it was a weird thing where it's like a lot of us who were hired in 2020, we never actually met each other. So a lot of the company, like a lot of employees who've been there for years, they've known each other, they've hung out with each other, they've been in the office together. But then, like, I don't know, the several dozen of us who were hired in 2020, we'd never met the team. So yeah, it was a great experience to like meet faces and not have to collaborate and connect through Zoom. It was just, it was a needed thing. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I'm very thankful for it. I'm gonna be out there again soon for Vid Summit and VidCon. So I'm excited to see the team and even meet more creators. So
Were you able to connect with them quickly? Because I feel like in the space or just watching YouTube in general or any online content, you can get to know someone so pretty easily, and when you see them in real life, it's like you already know each other. Like I remember I met a couple people from online, and when I saw them in person, I was thinking, "Oh, I've known you for like 20 years already, and I'm not even 20 years old."
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't like we knew. Like it was weird. It's like we really. I think the difference was we spent more time together. So it's like I knew them, and I knew them well because we would have like 20-minute, 1 hour Zoom meetings periodically throughout the day. But the difference here was like now we're spending an entire day together, and now I'm like really knowing you, like really getting to know your life and your mannerisms and how you operate and everything. So it was like the ice was already broken, and a lot of them I was super close with. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird if you ask me, like seeing somebody online and then like meeting them in person. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird experience. I don't know how to explain.
So do you think you found your so-called passion, I guess you call it? Do you think you're in the place where you want to be for a while?
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think for me, it's like I know what my end goal is. So my end goal is to be a full-time influencer, full-time YouTube creator. Um, that's my end goal. And I think that where I'm at right now is a perfect segue into doing what I want to do as a creator full time. So, like, I'm passionate about video. I'm passionate about social media, of course. Um, but I still think that even where I'm at now is still a stepping stone for where I am ultimately trying to go, which is to just do YouTube full time, or social media in general full time.
What's your favorite platform that you want to be on? YouTube or?
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I know you've posted like the past few weeks, but have you posted way before that? When did you start like actually posting?
So like for my YouTube channel,
Yeah, your YouTube channel.
yeah. So my YouTube channel is like a cloud of mystery. It's just a fog of inactivity and desire right now. But yeah, I started posting back at the end of 2019, actually, when I started making that full transition. And that's when I started posting. And then I see you walked away, so I'll just keep talking and filling the air till you come back. But so yeah, I started posting back in 2019, just with a video where I visited this homeless community, just something I just had a little passion project, because like one of my big things in filmmaking is documentaries, and that's really what I want to get more into. So I made that little film back at the end of 2019 and kind of posted on and off ever since. But as you can probably see from my YouTube channel, I'm not as active as I was at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
Yeah, but now you're back
I've
in
been
it.
struggling to get back into creating for myself like I used to, just because of time and bandwidth to do things. Well, my biggest struggle right now is, I work in social media and I work at home and I still do video production. So like I'm always like on social media or I'm always editing and I'm always working on videos. And when it comes to like doing it for myself, sometimes I just don't have the bandwidth. So like my last video was just me kind of venting on like a little live stream, like where have I been at? Like what's going on in my life? And this is why I haven't been super active on YouTube for myself yet.
Yeah, I totally feel that, especially recently, because that's all I've been doing this summer. I'm doing like social media for Creator Now, and then I picked up an editing gig like
Love your stuff.
a couple weeks ago. Thank you. A couple weeks ago, I picked up editing, and then I do my main channel, and then I do this, which takes a few hours. So how have you gotten to find something that helps you balance everything, or is it just something that you've been coming to in contact with recently?
Yeah, it's something that I'm really coming in contact recently because and I'm looking for ways to manage my time better. Because I think you all, too well, it's like, 8 hours a day, I'm literally in this spot working. And then I'm literally in this spot editing, and I'm literally in this spot doing everything as far as a content creator. And I think like that's one of the things people miss is like being a content creator. Like, yes, you see fun stuff online, but most of our time is actually planning and editing and executing on that art piece that we're behind. So like even if I go out and film a project, the edit takes 10 times
like
as
10
long
times,
as the filming process actually took. So like most of my time I'm sitting right here. So like what I've been talking to like my boss about is like, man, like I'm getting a little burnt out because I sleep, I'm in my bedroom right now. So I sleep in that bed, then I get up for work. So 8 hours a day I'm sleeping, 8 hours a day I'm here working. And then the rest of the opportunity I have throughout the day is either, in some kind of sport activity or back here grinding it out. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking for ways to manage my time and energy better. But I just don't know how to yet because everything I do requires social media and being online. And, for a person like me, like that idea of like detox from social media is really not an option because I'm a social media manager. So it's like, I can never escape social media.
Yeah. Cause
I'm a YouTuber, so I can never escape being online. So it's hard for me.
I watched your video, the My Dilemma with Social Media video. And that was really resonating with me. Like when you pose the question that we spend so many hours on social media, but what do you really remember from a week ago, let alone even one day ago? And I like that is just so true. In modern day society, we just spend so many hours on it. And so I was wondering, since you have the opportunity to create like so much meaningful content on social media, as a social media manager full time, how do you create meaningful content then?
I think like for me, like, and that's something that I really am focused on is how can I create, like when it comes to like TubeBuddy, for example, like how can I create content that accelerates others, because so many times like we get on social media and the content is just crap. It's not good. Copywriting is not good. Story is not useful. Let me put it that way. It's not always useful information. I sat there yesterday just watching like random Facebook videos with that do like random crappy music behind and people like doing life hacks and crap. I'm like, and I sat there like, man, like what? I feel like I'm so dumb for watching this. I hate to put it that way. I was like, what have I come to? Like, I feel like I've fallen to watching this psychological, like they're playing on my psychology almost. It's like, why am I sitting here watching this video over and over again? These videos like this over and over again. And I feel like online, there's so much distraction with content. Stuff that's not valuable whatsoever to us and our goals and our future. And then when I come into social media, I think it's a unique position where, here at TubeBuddy, our focus is developing strong content creators. So everything I post is with the purpose of teaching you something or helping you develop a skill or insight that's going to progress you forward as a creator. So I think that's my angle, where it's like, it's not just a bunch of like filler stuff. Like if there's not something strong that we can post, I just don't post at all. Because it's not about like quantity really for me. It's about that quality where I know that if I post this, it's going to make this person's life way easier. And you can see that from like the metrics and seeing how many people share it, seeing how many people save it. So like those are really like my big focuses, rather than just dumping content in a world that's already filled with so much. And
so the product market fit for TubeBuddy is geared toward in the creator economy. What are you trying to have you found your product market fit for your own channel, or is that something you're still developing and looking at?
Rephrase that for me.
Like your goals for your content on TubeBuddy that you make, they're geared for like teaching content creators and making their lives easier. For the content on your main channel, have you found that like gap you're trying to fill in your audience yet? Or is that something you're still experimenting with?
Yeah, it's something I'm doing a little bit of experimentation on. So it's funny when you ask that question, because I just really wrote down like my overall big picture, my overall strategy for my YouTube channel. That's actually going to like kind of relaunch this weekend, actually, which is great. But like the approach that I'm taking is really like, I want to focus on 3 pillars of content. Like I'm a big fan of like fitness. I'm a big fan of health, fitness, and self-help, right? Like those are like my big interest in my life. So I'm really trying to ideate on a way to merge all those different pillars together in a content strategy that makes the most sense. But I think early on, it's going to be a lot of experimentation, because I don't really know yet how that all lives together on the same channel, if it should live together on the same channel. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm starting up a blog right now, and I'm like trying to figure out like a fun way to document that whole process of how I go from like no blog to making money, and having that financial piece to it. But then on the other end, like I'm doing a lot of fitness stuff, like food challenges. So like it might not at the end of the day live on the same channel. I'm going to try it first. I'm going to experiment to see if it works. If I find like it's not working, then I'll readjust. But I think like for me, like my main goal on YouTube going forward is to figure out like how we all can live a life in balance of wealth, health, and intelligence.
That's great. And it seems like that's like your character. There's a saying I wrote down a while ago. I'm more afraid of the man who practices 1,000 kicks one time. Wait, no. I'm more afraid of the man who practices one kick 1,000 times than the man who practices 1,000 kicks one time. Mm-hmm. So do you think?
Say that again.
Yeah. Let me say that again. That's a lot. I'm more afraid of the man who practices one kick 1,000 times than the man who practices 1,000 kicks one time. Do you think you're ever filling your plate with too much? Like, do you think if you want to go into these verticals and succeed at a higher level, that you might have to drop some verticals one day? Or even for a little bit? Like, how's that plate looking for you right now?
Yeah. It's something that I'm working to balance, because, you hear that saying, like, jack of all trades, master at none, right? You hear that saying, and, for us content creators, it can be really hard to figure out like what's truly important for us in our development and growth as a creator. Because like, as a new creator, like you're just coming out on the platform, you're responsible for so much. Like you're learning how to edit. You're learning how to film. You're learning how to create assets and graphics for your channel and storyboard. And, you're in Creator Now and in Geneva learning every single angle. And it's like becoming a content creator, like being a YouTuber is just not one thing. It's not like one thing on your plate. When you're becoming a YouTuber, like I said, you're now becoming an editor, you're becoming a filmmaker, you're becoming all these things that it comes with so much baggage. So like right now, I'm really trying to learn, get a handle on YouTube, and all the baggage, good baggage, useful skill sets that comes with it. But at the same time, I'm trying to balance like what are the things I'm doing outside of YouTube that are non-essential to my goals. So like I'm trying to figure out like what are like the things that I'm going to focus on relentlessly, at least for like the next year. And like for me, like it's YouTube. Hands down, it's YouTube. And if it's YouTube, like it means like over the next year, I'm going to focus relentlessly on becoming an editor, a better storyteller, and all those things associated with it. But then on the other side of things, like with me, it's like I'm a filmmaker. Like I do a lot of local projects. Like that's honestly probably going to have to go. I'm probably going to have to scale back on that. I'm an athlete. There's zero way I'm scaling back on that because that's part of my mental health. Matter of fact, I need to ramp up even more on those things. But it's like, I think like right now it's like between work and YouTube and the things I do as far as like my how I take care of myself with like athletics and how I de-stress. Like, I think like those are the things I really need to prioritize. And anything that I introduce into my world has to be for the sake of content. Mm-hmm. So like this whole blog thing is content. Like it's like, I don't have the time to just really like scale a blog and do all that or scale different businesses. But I think there's opportunity where I can explore different businesses for the sake of content. So I think that's how I'm trying to not put too much on my plate right now, is making sure that everything has a justifiable and integrated reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Go
ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, so it seems like you're making a lot of content, doing a lot of creating. So I just wanted to know, what do you do when you have a creative block?
Yeah, because that's interesting because when what people that aren't necessarily in the creator space don't realize, it's not like there's no clear end goal to anything you're doing. Like, so when you're working on a video or a project for a company, like work, there's no clear end goal where you need to be. Like, there's no do this. It's not like stack those 10 plates there. It's like make this decorative piece out of these plates, and you don't know what you need to go to, and that's like where it really drains you. Yeah.
So like what do I do when it comes to creative blocks? That's a tough one, because that's super real. Creative blocks is super real. Burnout is super real. Like and especially when you extend your bandwidth in so many different areas, like burnout it comes fast and it comes hard and it can knock you out for a long time. But I think like for me, it's more so like the biggest things that help me is just executing on preset plans. For me, like the biggest way that I can avoid like creative blocks is to have a plan. Like when I'm super creative, what I like to do is I like to write down like ideas for the times that I'm not so creative. So like right now for my YouTube channel that I'm already planning to launch, relaunch, like I already have like 100 video ideas, right? That I'm never going to get through this year. But I also have all those planned out because I know like a few months from now, like I might not have the energy, but I also like, had a moment in time where I was creative, was ready, was thinking right. And I had the plans already set in place. So now it's just up to me to execute. So at least for me, like that's how I plan for that. But like I wish I could have like, oh yeah, this is how I avoid burnout. This is how I avoid all this, but it's really not. Like right now, if I'm being completely transparent, like right now I'm in a creative block.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm in a place where I'm a little burnt. I'm a little burnt, not gonna lie. I'm a little burnt. But the only reason I can continue going is because I'm just executing on the plans that I've set months ago when I wasn't burnt out. So I think it's just creating enough runway for you to just continue to move down, even at times when things are tough, and just having that future clarity for me.
Yeah. So like maximizing when you're feeling your best and for the times when you're not feeling your best.
Yeah, I mean that's what works for
Yeah.
me. I'm not saying that that's like the best strategy for people, but
Mm-hmm.
like that's what seems to work for me because if I'm I, it's more about like not making decisions based on feelings for me, but or emotions, but just making rational decisions and executing on the things that I know are going to get me closer to my goals. And even when I do feel stuck, I always have my roadmap available to guide me on what I need to do next. So even though I'm not feeling it, even though I'm not 100% there, like this weekend, like this, later today when I go out and film this video, I'm not like 100% in it, but I also know that I need to do this to get to my future goals.
Mhm.
And I've already put that in place. So in the process, like as I'm executing, I can keep moving forward as I still figure out like, okay, how do I get back? You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at with things.
Going into the so-called plate we've been talking about, have you
Yeah.
experienced with the people around you that you interact like relatively consistently with? Have you
Mm-hmm.
experienced like them underestimating the work that it takes to like do all of this? Because
Yeah.
people underestimate like oh, you're just sitting at your computer editing, like you're filming a video. Like, have
Yeah.
you experienced that at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I experience it all the time. And that's something that I talk to a lot of creators on the TubeBuddy sphere, excuse me, about so often is people don't understand what it takes to, excuse me, to truly be successful, you know, at content creating in general. Like, like I said earlier, like with YouTube, yeah, okay, you tell people you're a YouTuber, oh, you're just making fun videos, you're just having fun, you're doing nothing all day, you're being lazy. But no, like at the end of the day, like all too well, it's like you're in storytelling mode, you're scripting, you're learning how to film. Editing in itself is a full-time job you can get. Like editing is
It takes
hard.
so long.
Learning how to score music to your to your videos, like that's a whole nother skill. Getting into After Effects, getting into your graphic design and creating thumbnails, and learning how to title things, and then looking at the analytics, and then pivoting and planting,
And
and
then doing it again.
everything with YouTube or being any type of creator, whether it's YouTube or anywhere else on social media, requires so much from that individual. And although we might make it look easy, because at the end of the day, like we're only putting in front of you the finished masterpiece. But in order for us to create that, we've gone through a lot of learning and a lot of struggle to produce it, which I think a lot of people who are not in the space undervalue massively,
Mm-hmm.
massively. I mean, like, dude, like what you all are doing right now, running this podcast, like on top of doing a YouTube channel, on top of editing, on top of, I don't know if you're in college or
Yep,
whatever,
we
like on
are.
top of going to school, like, bro, like
On top of the hate you get on social
on top
media,
of,
and
yeah,
like a huge thing in itself. Like, and then on top of the people surrounding you saying, why are you doing this, man? Like, what are you
Mm-hmm.
doing?
Yeah, that actually ties
yeah,
into one of my questions. I was gonna ask, pursuing a creative field,
yeah.
have you felt pushback or judgment from others when you tell them what you do?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially as a college dropout. Like
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
I get an extra heaping of crap
Yeah.
from people. but there's this quote. I can't think of who it's by, but maybe I'll explain it a little bit. But it goes like, the people who were seen dancing were thought to be crazy by those who could not hear the music. And I always think about that quote as a content creator, because it's like, we're out here dancing and we're living in this content creator world, this creator verse, as I like to call it. And we're here and we're hearing this music. Like, we understand the opportunity in YouTube. We understand the freaking opportunity in YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Like, we understand the opportunity online, but those people who cannot hear that same music that we're hearing, like, we look absolutely freaking insane as we're dancing and doing
I actually
all these
love
things
that
to
quote.
push ourselves forward.
That's great.
So I get a lot of crap from people, and our creators get a lot of crap from people. You get a lot of crap from people because, one, they don't understand how much you can make on YouTube.
Nope, don't.
They don't understand how realistic it is to become a paid creator with monetization sources from 20 different avenues, right? They don't understand the opportunity. They don't hear the same music as us. So we look crazy, but I always feel bad because it's like, being an online creator is one of those things, is the opportunity is only going to get better. It gets better every single day. And at the end of the day, it gives us space to really extend ourselves in 100 different directions that would not be possible if I was limited by a degree and a job in software. Like, as being a YouTube creator, I can go appear in a movie. I can go on a TV show. I can start a podcast. I can be Mr. Freaking Beast and start a restaurant chain. I can sell merch. I can
the power of the audience. It's the power of the audience. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And the opportunity of becoming a creator.
That's a song.
And I think that people don't see that.
Yeah, that's a song that I just started hearing. The fact that you don't even need to have like millions of subscribers to make a full-time income. Like, something I've learned from Zach Honavar. You could literally have like 50K or like 20K. And if you monetize correctly and you're like, what you're doing, you could be making $1 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you say that, because a lot of people, the thing that they look at this end goal of becoming like a multi-millionaire, or you're making like, you're like freaking Kelly Stamps making $40,000 a month, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, that could be your goal. And that is a great goal. Matter of fact, you can go way beyond that goal if you really are smart about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, most of us, we don't need to be there. Like, she's at like 400,000, 500K now, making 40 grand a month. How much do I need just to make 6? You know what I'm saying? How much do I need to make just to make an extra 4 or something like that? And I think a lot of people will be shocked that you don't need a massive celebrity to do that.
Mm-hmm. Dang, that's crazy. Well, yeah. Blowing my mind.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, like, there's a girl named Deanna Gladney. She quit her job before she even hit 10K subscribers, and went full time on YouTube. And because it's like, if you really think about like how much money a person, like, if you really sit there and think about like, how much money do you need to make this full time? It's a lot less than what you need to be making to be Kelly Stamps or Mr. Beast or Eric, is whatever. Like, I think I have a feeling like a lot of people, at least like even our age, will be happy just making several $1,000s a month from YouTube or from online content creation and revenue streams. They'll be happy. And that could be enough to make them go full time as a creator. And once they go full time, it's only scaling. You're scaling from there. It's compounding from there. It's limitless, I would say.
It is limitless. And especially because the creator space is like pretty new, and like seeing things like people go from Vine to fighting Floyd Mayweather, like it's really like this dude, ridiculous. Like, you can do anything now, like you said earlier. But before you wrap up, you have anything else to say to the audience? Because
Or do you have any advice for maybe people that are starting out as a creator or have a dream of becoming a creator?
Yeah, I think like for me, it's like it's really about I'll say number one, watch this video from Evelyn from the internet. Is her name Evelyn from the internet? She did a video. I forget the name, but it's like titled something weird like "Don't be afraid to be seen trying." And I think that's like the name of it. So that's a great video. But it's just this concept of like it's not easy, right? It's not easy being a creator, and it's really hard to be a creator early on when you don't see results. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to be Mr. Beast, where you're starting a channel at 12 years old, but you're waiting like till you're like what 20 or something before things actually take off.
Yeah, he was
You know,
doing
it's
it
hard
forever.
to keep track and going down this pathway of content creating when it's built on belief. Like it's just a strong belief. You know, I tell people, like I think about like content creating as a lottery ticket. It's like that, you know, is going to win, but you just gotta hold on to it for a long time. Like it's there, the opportunity is there, but it takes time to build it. So I think for a lot of creators, it's just like start, don't stop. End of story. Just start, don't stop, make mistakes, look stupid, get out there, be seen trying, get called names, get you know ridiculed, get those hate comments, get those questions like what are you doing, like this is whack, this is weird, from those people who can't hear the music. But just keep going and don't lose focus, because at the end of the day, like like I hate to be like this, but like I truly believe, and people might disagree, I truly believe that it is a guaranteed opportunity for the people who approach it in the right way, who have the right strategy, who are actually making good content. Like you can't just put out crappy videos and expect to be successful. But like if you're actually making good stuff that's useful and valuable to people, like it's going to work. If you're doing it the right way. So I think like anybody who really has a dream is just like become a student, learn as much as you can, study your analytics, see what's not working, see what is working, and really drill down on what's working and cut out all the things that aren't working. And just start and don't stop, because like the opportunity is there, it's real. And I don't think there's any better time than right now to get started.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Something we've been doing for our guests is a time capsule. So, Judah, if you happen to be watching this episode back, skip over this part. I want you right now, Judah, to speak to yourself in 5 years. Give yourself a little message. Like, what are you what are you saying
So
to yourself?
unique. I love it. Golly, man, that's awkward-ish,
Like
but I can handle it. I think for Judah in the future, man, Judah in the future. Hey, how are you doing? You're looking good. You look healthy. You look strong.
Let's go.
I see you've been working out. I see you've been at the gym.
Hey.
Hopefully, you're a professional ultimate frisbee player right now, and you just skied MKBHD. Congratulations!
Hey.
Oh man, shots fired, but I don't want to do that. But I think for you, Judah, in the future, the future of self of me, like I really like. In a few years, honestly, like I really see you as being a full-time creator, just doing your own thing and really understanding what you're doing and having full confidence in yourself and full confidence in your strategy. And I think that's my biggest goal.
Awesome. And where can we find you on social media or anywhere? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so like it's Judah Lee, ITS Judah, JUDAHLEE. It's Judah Lee on all platforms, and then on YouTube, just Judah Lee.
Yep.
Judah Lee.
And you
find
got
me hanging
anything?
out. Yeah.
This was great. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You got anything?
I was just going to say thank you so much for sharing all your nuggets of knowledge and advice,
Yeah, that was
and for
great.
being so real and candid this whole time. It means a
Yeah.
lot.
Wait, where are you based at? Where are you at?
That's fun. Yeah, I'm out here in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you sent me the Zoom invite. I'm like, oh, 1 o'clock? What?
All
Yeah. Yeah, so
right.
I know where you all are at.
Yeah. East Coast.
But
Yeah. All
but
right,
yeah,
cool.
thank you. I appreciate this. I had a lot of fun, and early in the conversation I was a little nervous. I don't do a lot of I don't get online like this ever, but I think as we went along, it started to get really interesting
sure,
and
yeah.
fun. So thank you for having me.
All right. This
Yeah.
has been another episode of Nothing Outside. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.